Hey, what's up everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so getting out there, still got some more things to purchase. Even though I was at a Target yesterday, I forgot certain things, which is, that's daily for me. I'm always walking out of there without what I need if I don't bring a list. So there were some things that were getting ready to run out that after I had my meal last night, I realized I probably should have purchased. That's kind of how that goes, but that's nothing new. So my uncle will be in town tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing him. Hope everything goes great for his flight out here, and you know, it's gonna be an adjustment. I don't know what to expect as it pertains to the time schedule, because for me, I'm such a stickler for time, as you guys know. I don't like getting up too early, that kind of thing, and I just feel like there may be some days where I'm getting up too early, might have to skip my morning routine. That sort of thing can create a little bit of unnecessary anxiety in my head, but that's just how I'm wired. But you know, aside from that, I'm looking very much forward to seeing him, and you know, I know he's looking forward to seeing his wife as well, because she's been out here for several months, so this is going to be them reuniting as well. So I have no doubt that they're going to have a great time, and you know, it's going to be great all the way around, I'd imagine. So yeah, that's what's up. I'm just gonna get out there and do what I gotta do. Probably making a routine day. Yesterday I didn't make a video on the way home, but I decided to go to the movies for the first time in like 5 years, man. I haven't been to the movies since I had my car taken away. Like, that was well before I left Lenox. So I'd say it's been almost 5 years since I actually sat down and watched a movie in a theater. About 5 years. But I went and saw Superman yesterday, and I thought it was a good return to the movie for me. I saw it at the Chinese Man Theater, and the funny thing is, I had been back to the Chinese Man Theater several years ago. Before that 5 year span, it had been years before that, but the point is, I used to go there all the time with my mother. Every Friday, damn near, we go to the Chinese Man or the Universal City Theater or somewhere to watch a movie, because her favorite pastime for weekends was movies. So while the good majority of my childhood, we were in the movie theater 4 times a month, like all the time. Sometimes she'd want to see multiple movies in one day. That wasn't something I really liked to do, but she did. She would stay in the movie theater for 6 and 7 hours watching 2 and 3 different flicks. So like, that was her favorite thing to do, and I did it a lot growing up, especially in Hollywood. But as I grew up, it wasn't really my thing like that, but I enjoyed doing that with her. So you know, in going to the Chinese Man Theater, since they modernized it over the last 20 years, a lot of times when you go to the theater, you ended up in some of their newer theaters, and you go there and they have the old theaters, the old ones that are still set up, that have been there for like 100 years, and then you got the new stuff that's inside the Hollywood and Highland shopping center, or whatever they call that. So when I would go back in what I would consider modern Hollywood, modern times, over the last 15 years, whatever, I would always find myself going into the newer theaters. I went there like several times after high school and stuff like that, you know, but I would never find myself going to one of their main old theaters for which I used to go, you know, when I was a kid. And yesterday, it just so happened that the movie was starting at 12:40, and I was walking past the theater at 12:50, and it was in the main theater. So I was able to go back into the main theater of the Hollywood Chinese Man Theater, whatever they call it now, and see the Superman movie yesterday. So literally it had probably been over 20 years since I had been in that theater, but I used to go to that theater all the time. So to go back down memory lane, even to climb down the steps to the men's bathroom, I hadn't been down there since I was a teenager. Great experience yesterday. I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. It was a great return to the movie theater for me to have chosen that movie and to enjoy it as much as I did. I thought it was a great return, man, to movies. So that was really fun for me. I went to support you know, just the understanding that they had paralleled a lot of what it is they were doing with what is going on in Gaza and the Israeli conflict there. When you see the movie, you see the parallels but I definitely understand why people are looking at those who are looking to boycott it in the name of Israelis as insane after I see the movie. Because there were a lot of things about that were not as obvious as maybe those who were telling you to boycott it want you to think. I thought I was going to get in there and see the main part of the movie was a lot of stuff that had a lot of parallels. It did. No, it was a part of the movie, but it wasn't like the main focus of the movie. It wasn't like the whole thing was centered around something like Gaza and Israel. No, it wasn't. It was some loosely based stuff that they had taken that could have been parallel to Israel and Gaza, could have been parallel to Russia and Ukraine, to be honest with you, and what is being said about that situation. So for those who are saying boycott this because it's paint Israel out to be bad, they are literally standing confessions that what Israel's doing is awful. That's one bit of proof to show you that they understand how awful what they're doing actually is. That's all that actually is. They say a hit dog will holler, that's what that is. If the shoe fits, wear it, that's what that is. If they don't say nothing, most people ain't even gonna be thinking about Israel when they see the movie. I guarantee you they won't. Most people will not. The first thing in their mind won't be Israel. It won't. And I thought when I went to go see the movie that that's what it was gonna be. I'm sitting here like, are you guys serious? You see yourselves that much in this flick as the bad guys that you want people to boycott this movie? So you understand how awful you looked at. Like, you understand that this is you, dude, don't you? You understand it more so than we would. Because if I would have saw that movie, I don't know that my mind would even went there if I didn't hear people say that it has otherwise been boycotted. Or that there were people on the Israeli side telling us to boycott it. Or whatever the hell. It wasn't that much of a parallel like people are painting it out to have been. It really ain't. So I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was lighthearted. Fun movie, man. Fun Superman. One of my favorite Supermans, to be honest with you. And I remember all the old ones. I watched all them old ones. I thought this one was a little better than some of those, to be honest with you. If you go in not expecting anything overly political or overly serious, you're gonna enjoy the movie. Go take your kids to see it, that kind of thing. It's a good movie for kids, I think. Had a few moments in there that I thought were not overly kid friendly, but for the most part, you're gonna be able to take your kid to see that and have a great time. So yeah, it was a fun movie to watch, man. I enjoyed every second of that, to be honest with y'all. And I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday, man. I decided to go to the movies and was able to revisit the old theater that my mother and I used to frequent very regularly, very regularly, but haven't been in many years. So that was great for me. Good nostalgic moment. You know, I would say that it was what I needed based on how I had been thinking and what my mindset was and all of that over the last couple of days. I needed something that would kind of pull my mind away from some of that, and I considered going to see it on Wednesday, but decided not to, and had no intention of seeing it yesterday, which was Thursday, and ultimately ended up in there. So that was really cool, man. That was a great change of pace for me. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what I had going yesterday after I left out of the movie theater. Like I said, I went to Target, bought a bunch of stuff, forgot the rest of it, and then just came back. I didn't climb any hill because my knee was a little sore yesterday. It was strange because when I was walking down the street, this street here, and I had told you that I woke up in the morning with my knee sore, but it had since gone away. The pain was not in place. Then when I sat down in the movie theater after I got up, the pain returned. But by the time I got home, it wasn't so bad. So I did my Hunter's Blue squat regimen and all that, and by the end of the night, it was fine. When I woke up this morning, it was hurting again. And after I did my exercise from this morning, now I'm telling you that it's fine. So I'm not really sure what's going on with my leg. muscle there. It's not really the knee, but it's the muscle underneath the knee. But as of right now, I feel no pain, so I don't know what the heck is triggering it. I think when I exercise a little bit, work that muscle out, it stops hurting, and then when I get a chance to rest it, I'd imagine that's what triggers the soreness. I don't know what that's about, but I feel absolutely 100% right now, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes throughout the course of the day. But it ain't stopping me from doing nothing. It's not overly painful. It's irritating more than anything. So yeah, man, that's really what it is. What else going on? Happy Friday to everybody. I was thinking about something that had nothing to do with anything serious, but it brought me a very cool saying. I was thinking about my Lakers and how they are trying to adhere to different pressures in any given year. It's always a pressure to get the most out of LeBron's days and the most out of now Luka Doncic, and surround them with the most talent so they can have an opportunity to win right away. And the saying that came to me was, every tomorrow has a today. Every tomorrow has a today. And what that means to me is that you got people always saying each and every day that you are expected to meet some requirement. You're expected to meet some expectations or what have you. If you got that type of environment going on where everybody's pushing you to move, but in your arena it requires certain times that you just sacrifice some of what it is that would ultimately be possible so that you can create more of a flexibility to move for tomorrow. You know, at some point in time, you just got to bite the bullet on some of that pressure that's coming at you today so that you can build up what you need for tomorrow. And to understand that just like people are coming at you today with the pressure to do now things, you know, that need to be done right away, tomorrow too has a today. Every tomorrow has a today. And every time that comes around, everything that's supposed to be expected of you today is going to be incumbent upon you to meet that day. So every tomorrow has a today, man. Every time a tomorrow comes around, it's always going to be somebody that day saying, today you need to do this, today you need to do that. Today you need, but if it requires that you sacrifice some of these todays, do understand that you're going to have enough tomorrow to meet their demands today for your sacrifices today. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because every tomorrow got a today. So that's what came to me. I don't know if that applies to everybody's life. You certainly don't want to procrastinate on things. But as it pertains to your energy, depleting your energy and things of that nature, so that people can, you know, be happy with the effort you're putting in. If you tell some people no today so that you'll have enough tomorrow, then when they come back around tomorrow, that tomorrow will be today, and you'll have enough that day, and you can meet their expectations that day, and maybe be able to have enough to prolong what this is for you as it pertains to you having enough to do enough for that day. Because kicking the can down the road on what otherwise is depleted only puts you in a position to not have enough tomorrow for which a today will be. That tomorrow, people will be like, well, what you got for me today? And you ain't gonna have nothing because everything you did today, which is in that world, yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? Don't deplete everything today, which is yesterday, leaving yourself with not enough tomorrow, which will then too be a today. So that's what came to mind, man. And that applies, I think, to a lot of different things. Maybe not everything, but you know, if it requires sacrifice to have enough, sometimes you just got to deal with people being disappointed today so that you can build up enough to have enough. You know what I mean? Same goes with saving money, of course. You know, your kids want this today, but you don't have the money for it today. But if you can give them a no today, save your money, tomorrow you'll definitely be able to do what they need you to do. You know what I mean? Every tomorrow got a today, and the needs that come with that are going to be right in their face, and they're going to demand you meet it. And either if you don't, you're the worst thing in the world, and they can't see the bigger picture of what it is that's required for them to get the thing that they really want. But they definitely expect for you to have it. And then sacrificing today is how you're going to have it. So that's what I want to say to people, man. It's okay to say no. It's okay to absorb the criticism of people who don't understand that, so that you can meet the bigger and greater needs of tomorrow, for which they will have if you're responsible for them or what have you. And that's the thought right there. So yeah, man, that's what I wanted to say. I walk past here as always. So last night I had an interesting dream, man. I had an interesting dream, very interesting, and I can segue into that in the video, I guess. But the dream that I had last night was essentially I was on trial for my life, just like some type of Diddy or somebody like that, who was accused of doing some things that they did not do. But the thing was, I was not in court for the verdict. I was at home for the verdict, and the verdict was on TV, and I was going to learn my fate that way for some reason, which is not real, obviously, but that's how it went. I was very confident that I hadn't done what was said of me to have done, what I was accused of. I knew I didn't do it. I felt the evidence was strong against those accusations. It was just a very strong confidence, like, yo, I'll be very surprised if I get convicted for this. That's what it was. And so I was sitting at home in front of the television at my old place in Hollywood where I grew up at, and watching the TV screen, kind of nervous, but like, there's no way I did this. All the evidence pointed to me not having done this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get away with this, no problem. And that's exactly what happened. They said not guilty on all charges under the grounds there wasn't enough sufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I had done whatever it is they accused me of doing. I proceeded to order some pizza, and I think that was kind of how the end of the dream went. Very, very cut and dry. I didn't do it. I was confident I didn't do it, and I was absolved of it. But what I woke up feeling was, and the only reason why a person would have that type of confidence that I had in that situation is because they know they would have done so much right in the areas of doubt, that you had so much, not only support within yourself to know you haven't done anything, but also the confidence that everyone around you can attest to your character as well. And in order to maintain that type of confidence in life, you got to live a certain way that disciplines yourself against certain things, and try to be as good of a human being as you were taught to be, and learn how to be a better human being in other areas as well, so that you can continue to have that reputation that allows you that confidence. You can't have that confidence if you run around trying to do too much, not respecting people's boundaries, stepping on people or what have you, for lack of a worse term, doing all different types of stuff, being selfish in that way or what have you, trying to be a ladies' man all the damn time, you know. And one of the things that that I kind of understood was a confidence that I also have that I'm doing things the right way in my own life, is because I ask the Lord every day in practice to do certain things in my life through prayer. One of those things is to filter everything that I have to say to others through Him, as we've talked about many times on this channel. Body language, energy, words, actions, all of what comes out of me, I want the Lord to filter. And in practicing that in prayer, my subconscious, in theory, should lean into its best self even more so, because you're reaffirming there's something greater than yourself. you are leaning on to bring out the best in yourself. So that has to have some consequence if you're doing that in practice. So these are the type of things that I try to do every day, especially as it pertains to being around women or what have you. You know, filter what comes out of me, body language, energy, activities, whatever it is that I'm doing, intentions. Make sure that you double check and triple check my everything that I'm putting out, anything that comes out of me, Lord. And that's what I try to do every day, and pray about the relationships around me and the friendships around me, the acquaintanceships and all these different things in practice every day. It's to say I'm trying to do the best I can from within my understanding, and then furthermore take a greater lean into something greater than myself to help me with what it is that I don't understand, maybe where my ignorance would otherwise falter, in hopes that I can appeal to something greater than myself to help me in those areas where I maybe don't even know that I need to do better. Every day, twice a day, just like I brush my teeth and exercise and all of that. And in my dream, I was in that presence of mind to where I'd done so much of that till it was really no question of whether or not I was innocent in the dream. It was really no question of whether or not I hadn't done whatever I was accused of, because it didn't hold much weight to my own confidence, to the reputation I created with the people around me, to the action itself and whatever I was accused of, and whatever it was that I was actually doing versus what it was that I said, that they said I had done or accused me of doing. Whatever the case may be, I had done so much in the areas of what it is I can control the right way, so it was never any question of whether or not I was going to be convicted. If they had any sense of the proof that was in place, they would know I didn't do any of those things, and I would have nothing to worry about, unless I'm being railroaded, for which I never inspired that either. You know? And so the likelihood that someone was trying to railroad me, I felt was also slim, because I had such a good reputation with everyone I had ever interacted with. So like when you do things the right way, it's just like we talked about yesterday, it leaves you in a position to feel the best about whatever is going on. Now that ain't a foolproof situation. Sometimes you can still find yourself being railroaded by strangers or people you done right by. You can still find yourself being falsely accused or what have you. Those things are very possible. But at the end of the day, if you're looking to be unselfish with your actions, running everything by a God greater than yourself, living in a way that you can respect by all the morals and principles that you have, not allowing yourself to feel entitled to people's space or to people's attention, or otherwise allowing your worst to be on your forefront as you interact with others. If you're doing everything that you know you can to make yourself your best self, it's very difficult to be concerned that things are not going to fall into place one way or another. And so that's what I was living in my dream. It was a supreme confidence that my character was understood, that the evidence would prove that I was living in my best self in the presence of whoever it was that was accusing me or whatever. And I had God on my side, not only as it pertains to faith, but in practice. And then from there, that it was just about him working things out the way that he felt it should go, for which, if I had done everything I was supposed to do, should work out in my favor. So that's really what it was, man. Supreme faith and understanding that there was no reason for me to be concerned that I would be convicted of anything, because at the end of the day, I had done the best I could. And so that's what my dream was about. That's exactly what it was. And I thank God. I was like, you know, and this is why I appreciated the dream, because I woke up not necessarily giving myself a pass to say I had done all I could, but as a daily reminder to keep on my toes. Don't get too comfortable. Don't change that. Don't start doing things the wrong way. Don't think for 1 second that in the presence of you doing everything right, that you can't find yourself in a situation where you are being accused of doing things the wrong way. Now, your confidence in those spaces can be something that you lean on, and your faith in those spaces can be something that you lean on. But doing things the right way can still leave you in a space where you're faced with this problem or this type of conundrum. So to stay close to God and don't let yourself get to a space where you think that nothing can take place just because you're doing things the right way. You know, and that's what I took from the dream. You were your best self in your dream, but you were still faced with the trial of your life. So if you're not at your best in real life, what could come of that? You know, worse, possibly, you know. And so to just stay on my toes, to continue to work with God in filtering everything I got to give others through him first, to continue working on myself to be a better person, to continue asking for all those different things. And to know that God is going to have my back in whatever the situation will be, whatever the trials ahead, so to speak. And so that's what I'm just saying to all of you guys. That dream did for me. It didn't bring me a space for which the confidence from my dream carried over into my morning, but the understanding that that was in place to begin with, for a reason, for maybe no reason whatsoever, but it was in place to begin with. And you know, to stay sharp in my everyday life. You know, continue to hold myself with a certain level of class, decorum, and morals and principles and code, so to speak. You know, those are the things that are going to protect you from the things that are looking to attack you in life. If you stay to the script of whatever you're doing, if you stick to doing things by the book in a professional situation, it's very difficult to find yourself in a situation where people can use you going off the book against you. That's what my boy I used to work with taught me. One of my good buddies, he used to always say, man, I do everything by the book. When I'm in between these lines as it pertains to this job, everything they have in the book, I'm following. Everything by the book. I learn that book, I study that book in practice, I execute that book in every interaction, in every action in this job. And that's what protects me at all times, because if I'm doing everything by the letter of the law, then nobody can say I've broken it. And then from there, if anybody tries anything based on what is written, I've done things the right way, and I always got the upper hand and leverage because of it. It's the moment I break the rules, it's the moment I go against what's in this book, that ultimately people can use that deviation against me. But so long as I'm doing everything that they tell me to do in this book, my job security should be as secure as possible. And if for some reason someone puts that in jeopardy, I have every right to take the steps necessary to assure it's made right in the legal system. And so that's what my friend was teaching me. And that's how I try to live my life in regards to my morals. So that's really what it comes down to. It's not even about anything other than whether I think what you wrote in that book is right or wrong. It's irrelevant. And so long as I agree to do this job, doing things by the book is going to allow me to keep that job. Whether you have a vendetta against me, whether you don't like how I move, or whatever the case may be, if I do everything that's within the lines of those guidelines, I'm safe. I'm safe. You try firing me while I follow those guidelines, and we could take it up HR or what have you. You know, that kind of thing. So that's how I try to live morally. That's how I try to live as it pertains to what I believe the Lord wants me to do. I don't have a job right now. I don't want to be a professional in that way. But when it comes to walking the lines of the Lord and what it is I believe he wants me to do in the presence of others, I try to live that way to the best of my understanding in this era of my life. I didn't always live that way. Didn't always think that way. But it is how I'm trying to be going forward. And so that's what I want to say to y'all, man. At the end of the day, man, we're all doing the best we can, I'd imagine. We're trying to cope with whatever we're dealing with. And, you know, it's about striving to be better, in my opinion. You know, I think about where I was in the past when I used to smoke weed and let my spirit go wherever it wanted to go and didn't communicate with God very much, and found myself miserable and adhering to every negative thought or what have you. I've come a long way from that person. Some of the anxieties that I feel today are some of the same anxieties I was adhering to yesterday. but I handle them differently today. I handle them with a certain level of sobriety, a certain level of faith, and a much more trust that God's gonna work those things out, or make me what I need to be to handle whatever it is. And so that's the difference, man. Instead of turning to things that are negative and destructive to cope, my hope is to continue to practice doing the opposite and letting the chips fall where they're made from doing things the right way. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I think I'm doing a decent job of in this era. And that's what I'm telling you all I think works for a lot of us. So that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.